Now, your number one 5 p.m. newscast. Channel 8 Eyewitness News in HD.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us. Well, a construction crew working in downtown sliced through several underground phone lines, bringing the DMV's entire computer network to a crashing halt.
Embark crews are trying to repair the broken lines at this hour, but it could be a couple of days before the job is finished. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Alison McCarthy joins us from the DMV on East Sahara, where the system has gone down, not only in southern Nevada, but in several other western states. Allie?
That's right, Paula and Dave. Normally, no lines at the DMV would be good news, wouldn't it? But when you're talking about phone lines, you've got a real problem.
It was pretty hectic in there this morning, though.
So you couldn't even get your license?
Nope. Nothing was, I was kind of disappointed.
A lot of frustrated customers out here. When one look at these empty chairs inside, you had to know something was very wrong here at the DMV office, this one located on East Sahara. It happened at about 10 this morning when Embark says another construction company doing sewer work downtown accidentally cut several fiber optic and copper cables. Now that mistake is affecting phone and internet service, not only here at the DMV, but for an unknown number of customers in the southeast part of our valley, including Henderson, Boulder City, and even across state lines. We know at least Laughlin, Nevada.
So our computers went down at 10 o'clock this morning, and down hard. The whole network is out. All we can do is issue movement permits and do drive tests, and that's it. Movement permit is a piece of paper you tape in the windshield that allows you to drive the car legally until you can get the proper plates and registration.
Now, unfortunately, Embark has no real idea yet when their crews will be able to complete the repairs and restore phone service to at least the southeast part of the valley. As we've heard, it could take up to a couple of days. But again, DMV normally closes at 5 o'clock, so it is the end of a very long and frustrating day out here. Tomorrow could be a problem as well. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Allison. Well, the recession taking its toll on Las Vegas tourism these days. Last month, the number of visitors to southern Nevada was down significantly from last October. In Las Vegas, visitor volume dropped 10%. It was down 10.5% in Laughlin, 14% in Mesquite. Now, conventions always help bring in more visitors, but they were also down nearly 6% in Las Vegas. And with so many people on a budget, hotels have been forced to lower room rates, which have come down about 14%. Those who are still coming to Las Vegas seem to be backing off of betting, which is hurting our casinos. Last month, Nevada casinos saw a 22% drop in revenue. It's the largest single month drop in recorded history. Here in southern Nevada, the most significant drop was in North Las Vegas, where gaming revenue plummeted 34%. Boulder Strip wasn't far behind, falling 28%. The Las Vegas Strip saw a decline of nearly 26%, while downtown fell almost 20%. Mesquite and Laughlin also posted double-digit drops. This is a 10th straight month of declines for Nevada gaming. Analysts say there are several factors for the record decline, including low consumer confidence, the unstable stock market, and increasing unemployment rates. Analysts say we may begin to see a bit of an improvement soon because of the falling gas prices. We may also get a boost from New Year's Eve, the Chinese New Year, and the Super Bowl, which are all coming up here in the next couple of months. Now, two areas in the state actually had an increase in gaming wins. The Carson, Gardnerville, Minden area and Churchill both posted single-digit increases. Some casinos are pulling out all the stops to bring in visitors. Terrible's Casino in Prim offering a freecation for locals. The promotion includes a free night stay at Buffalo Bill's, Whiskey Pete's, or Prim Valley Resort. It also includes 2 all-day passes for the roller coaster and other attractions, and 2 tickets to a burlesque show at Whiskey Pete's. Casino officials hope getting people in the door with such great deals will encourage them to spend in other areas. Now, in addition, several strip resorts are offering deals for rooms, shows, and restaurants. We have some of them listed on our website, LasVegasNow.com, keyword deals.
One of the casualties of this economy was Bill Hurd Chevrolet, which closed 2 locations here in town. Now, though, a new company is taking over one of those car dealerships. Managers are not only ready for business, they're hiring. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Aaron Drawhorn joins us from the old Vista Chevrolet on US 95 and Ann Road with new information. Aaron.
Paula, times are tough, but in this economy, #1 Chevrolet here says its priorities are people. Vista Chevrolet is now Ed Bozarth Nevada #1 Chevrolet.
Today is the first day. We're excited to be here.
A new company to Las Vegas, a different philosophy.
We're a bunch of small-town people from Topeka, Kansas, but we really think that we can bring service to this marketplace.
The dealership signs are changing, cars are getting that showroom shine, and management is checking out the lot, gearing up for business.
The Bill Hurd organization did go bankrupt, and we're purchasing the dealership through bankruptcy. That being said, you know, good quality people with a good work ethic, we'd sure love to employ here.
Bozarth says one of his goals is to get people working as soon as possible and a paycheck by Christmas.
Today is my first day back.
William Lucid worked for the old company. He's been in the car business for 15 years.
Just extremely excited to get to work and glad to get back to work before Christmas.
#1 Chevrolet, this is Todd.
Todd Satterley is a parts consultant and also relieved to have that steady paycheck again.
In today's economy, it's tough, you know, and having a job to come to it's a good feeling.
Applications are being accepted, and although some may have their concerns about the economy or problems in Detroit, Bozarth is confident in the product he sells and the new community he will serve.
We look at it as a time of opportunity as opposed to the opposite.
Bozarth is looking to hire between 80 and 100 people here at this location. We're told some of those positions have already been filled. By the way, this company is not purchasing the old Bill Hurd Chevrolet on Decatur. We're live from the Northwest tonight. Aaron Drawhorn, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Aaron. The rescue plan for the auto industry might be in trouble. Republican senators, including Nevada's own John Ensign, voiced strong opposition.
If we don't have the forced restructuring plans in place, many of us don't believe that American car companies will come out of this in a competitive position, and the taxpayers' money will be wasted at that point.
At this point, the $14 billion bill doesn't have enough support to pass Congress. GOP leaders think it would be a mistake to give out the loans before the companies restructure. Democrats, though, say this is a crisis, but the Republicans want the bill to include tougher benchmarks for the automakers to meet.
Republicans will not allow taxpayers to subsidize failure.
This is about the underpinnings of our economy.
The companies have until the end of March to submit their plans for restructuring, and if the plans aren't submitted by that deadline, they would have to pay back the loans in 30 days.
Well, patients left with nowhere to turn for cancer treatment will soon have some help. You'll find out who's stepping up to give those patients the care they need.
We think it's irresponsible.
Outrage over the governor's proposal to freeze pay increases for all state employees. The I-team investigates why some say it could be devastating for Nevada.
I'm Ted Florendo. We had some morning lows. 30s, very cold. In fact, take a look at our almanac. Our temperatures dropped to 38 degrees. That set a new record. We will tell you what that record is coming up.
This portion of Eyewitness News in HD is brought to you by your Southern Nevada Hyundai dealers. This is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 5 in high definition.
Since UMC announced the closing of its Oncology Care for uninsured patients, cancer advocates have been scrambling for solutions.
And Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Chris Saldana outside UMC with a look at how some cancer doctors are stepping up. Chris?
Dave, UMC is no longer taking patients who don't have insurance but need some oncology care. Today we talked to a doctor who says he will see those patients now that UMC can no longer help them.
We're gynecologic oncologists, so cervical cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, all the GYN cancers. That's the area of our expertise.
Dr. Nick Spiritos is with the University of Nevada School of Medicine and says women with cancer who can't afford treatment will not be turned away by them.
This is easy. We're cancer docs first, and I think that's the message we send to our residents and we need to send to the community. First, we're cancer docs, and the finances will have to take care of themselves.
Alicia Alvarado came to Dr. Spiritos once she found out she had ovarian cancer. On a limited income, she had no other means for treatment.
I need this treatment. I came here because I had nowhere else to go. They care for me here, give me chemo, and help me better. It's a good place.
This mother of three knows there are other women out there just like her who don't have the money for the treatment they need to survive. but places like this are hoping to be a new lease on life.
We need this treatment. This place gets us better. It's a routine for us. To know they are here to help those who need it the most, it's special and nice.
Dr. Spirito says they have the team and they have the manpower to care for these women, but there still is one big challenge.
The limiting factor is how can we get the chemotherapy drugs either on a need basis from the pharmaceutical companies or foundations. That's the tricky part.
And Dr. Spiro says he and his staff, including students, have already started lobbying these companies to find some medicine for those people who don't have insurance. We also want to note that this facility does not see women who have breast cancer or men. Reporting live, Chris Saldana, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Well, it helps, though. Thanks, Chris. Yeah. A proposal to save the state money has many upset. The I-Team has details next.
2 major retailers closing stores, slashing jobs. We'll find out if there will be any impact here in Las Vegas.
And calls for the governor of Illinois to step down as a big-name congressman is named in connection with the scandal involving Rod Blagojevich.
News at 5 with Dave Courvoisier and Paula Francis. The first local news in HD.
Many companies are cutting back on bonuses and pay raises, but what about an entire state? Governor Jim Gibbons is proposing a pay freeze for state employees and teachers. His plan would eliminate all cost of living raises and any annual pay bumps. I-Team reporter Jonathan Humbert is fresh off covering the special session. He's here to explain why more cuts are needed now. Jonathan.
Paula, it expects to be the first major fight of the next legislative session. State employees and teachers enjoy pretty solid contracts and expectations of pay raises due to years of service or cost of living. Now that may all change. With the special session just hours in the books, even more cuts are on the way. This time, pay raises for state employees.
We think it's irresponsible.
Terry Hickman helps lead the state teachers union, the NSEA. He says the governor's proposed freeze is bad news at an already dark time.
We think that that is really wrong. We believe that this governor does not have his priorities straight.
The problem is with contracts. Teachers and state employees run under complex contracts with some guarantees built in. If the state can't pay up, that could lead to lawsuits, but only after classrooms get packed to the gills.
Here in Las Vegas, where there are science classes of 40 to 50 kids in those science classes in high school, and now we're talking about making them larger.
With no raise, teachers might leave, and Hickman says forget about getting new teachers to move to Nevada.
And when they see that we are going backwards, why would they come?
We understand that now is not the time to be asking for a cost of living adjustment.
Dennis Mallory helps run the state employee union AFSCME. He'll give up the cost of living raise, but not the step raise. That's a built-in yearly raise based on performance. Mallory is willing to fight to keep it.
We believe there should be a step in grade because that was the agreement that was made when the employee was hired on.
The I-Team spoke with Governor Jim Gibbons' office today, and the message was clear. The money is finite, not infinite. There is no ambiguity. State employees will not be getting raises. No one seems willing to budge, but the contracts and the kids won't change anytime soon. The Clark County School District had no comment today. The board plans to hear about the potential impact of the freeze tomorrow. And in a strange twist, CCSD could actually be sued by the union because the contracts don't change, of course, so teachers are still owed the money no matter what happens. But if the state doesn't get CCSD the money for the raises, it's actually CCSD that will still be on the hook for it. They'll either have to cut their own budgets or violate the contract and get sued. Dave, Paul?
All right, Jonathan. Well, the recession is being blamed also for major cuts at another big retail chain. Office Depot announced it's going to close 112 underperforming stores in North America over the next 3 months. 14 more stores will be closed next year when their leases expire. A representative from the Office Depot Public Affairs Office tells us the store at Nelson Bonanza will be the only store closed here in Southern Nevada. The office supply chain also plans to cut in half the number of new stores it opens in 2009. There's more. Today, Sony announced it is cutting 16,000 workers worldwide. That's only 5% of its workforce, though. Half of the jobs are full-time positions around the world. The other half are temporary positions overseas. Company officials expect profits to plunge by nearly 60% this fiscal year because of poor sales of flat-screen TVs and digital cameras. A special job fair, though, is being held tomorrow for military veterans and their families. The Recruit Military Career Fair will take place at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Veterans and their spouses will be able to interview with a team of national, regional, and local employers.
The Space Shuttle Endeavour has made it halfway home. The shuttle took off from California this morning, riding piggyback on a modified jumbo jet. The spacecraft was forced to land there last month because of storms in Florida. The shuttle landed for a pit stop today in Fort Worth, Texas, and will take off again tomorrow morning for its final destination, Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
It looks impossible, but there it is. You know, take it off. It is amazing.
Hey, if you think it's chilly here, try Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
From Madison. I did weather in Green Bay. Look at this video here. A snowstorm. I thought this would make you feel better for the week ahead, right? A snowstorm in Wisconsin forced flight delays and cancellations at airports in Milwaukee and Madison last night. Crews worked to clear runways and de-ice the planes. As much as a foot of snow fell, closing schools and resulting in a number of crashes. I do not miss that. I'll tell you what, though, our numbers last night dropped to the mid-30s. Not quite as cold as there, but we did get chilly in some locations. 33 in Washington, Nellis, 35 for Seven Hills. This is near the freezing mark. 20s for up in the Lincoln County region, 28 Mount Charleston, 47 for Laughlin, and the 20s for State Line for Prim. Currently outside, mid-50s at this hour. 51 for Fort Apache and Ann, 52 Seven Hills and Henderson, 59 for Laughlin, 54 for the Lake. Really not a bad day today. Temperatures warmed up slightly from yesterday. The highs for the day today, low 60s across Las Vegas, 59 Durango and Warm Springs, 60 even for Pahrump, and 61 for the Lake. Let's show you the high at McCarran for the day today. We told you the numbers would go up slightly today. That will be the case for tomorrow, too. We're at 59 degrees. It's right about average for this time of the year. 38 was the overnight low, and that set a record because we have never been below 40 degrees in 297 days. So we dropped to 38 degrees. That set a record. The last one was back in 2005, I should say. Here's the travel forecast. Boston getting rain, 36 degrees tonight. Cold in Chi-Town at 24. Same goes for Denver, the Mile High City, at 22 degrees tonight. Patchy fog in LA at 50 degrees. Friday, we got the clouds rolling in. Cold temperatures are on the way. That will be on Sunday morning. And then from Sunday through early week, it will be unsettled with rain, wind, and possibly some snow flurries, too. Maybe even on the west part of the valley. Right now, the radar shows all the inclement weather in the deep south. We still have some residual snow showers around the UP of Michigan. But let's head on here, where yesterday we had tornado watches. Those are over and done with, but we continue to see rain, mostly heavy at times, around the Big Easy, the Florida Panhandle, all the way up to Charlotte, North Carolina. And these lines of storms right there are actually producing a lot of rain in a short period of time. Back here at home, high pressure in place in SoCal. That's keeping us nice and dry. With high pressure, our temperatures go up a little bit. But several systems off the coast, the Gulf of Alaska, that's going to ride on in, and we'll see the effects Saturday night. And those temperatures are going to drop like a rock on Saturday night to Sunday morning. Tonight, 41 degrees. Thursday, we're at 64 degrees, sunny skies. Slightly warmer for tomorrow, but by Friday, you'll start to see the changes with the cloud cover we talked about. And then we go from the 60s on Saturday to a daytime high on Sunday of only 48 degrees. That means our overnight lows will be 35. You mix in precipitation in there. There is a possibility of snow flurries, scattered showers Sunday through midweek. So next week might be a good week to just stay in and watch Channel 8. That's my preference.
Like the way you
That's
think,
my
buddy.
preference.
Thanks.
Sure.
Well, there's today, tomorrow, and then Friday to get involved in our Toys for Tots drive.
You can drop off new unwrapped toys here at our Channel 8 studios at any Smith's grocery store or at one of several locations throughout the valley.
We'll be collecting, as we said, through Friday. We have more information on our website, LasVegasNow.com, keyword toys.
A construction project along I-15 will have the interstate shut down weekly for several months. Details on where and when the closure will be.
And as you order gifts this holiday season, beware of thieves trolling for presents and gifts just left there on the porch. See how one family says they caught a Grinch in action.
Coming up, why no amount of money may be enough to save the auto industry, plus a surprising lesson. Who really built the White House? Find out tonight, only on the CBS Evening News.
A A hearing will continue tomorrow to determine if the man accused of killing a 19-year-old Reno woman will go to trial. James Biella is accused of sexually assaulting and murdering Breonna Dennison. He's also charged with sexually assaulting 2 other women and raping a third. 2 of his alleged victims testified today at James Biella's preliminary hearing, and there are still more than a dozen other witnesses to testify. Dennison was killed in January. Her body was found in February. Biella was just arrested last month.
Several people are now joining together and calling on Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich to resign. Among those, President-elect Barack Obama. He says the governor cannot effectively serve the people of Illinois while facing charges of a corruption spree. Federal prosecutors allege the governor went as far as trying to offer to sell Obama's vacant Senate seat to the highest bidder.
It's absolutely shocking behavior in light of the fact that he's being investigated by the feds for years at this point.
Blagojevich remains free on bond. Among those who are said to have been involved in the scandal, candidate number 5, which federal authorities say is Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., but he denies any wrongdoing.
A project to widen I-15 near the California border began this morning, and it will take several months. Crews are blasting the hillside to make room for an emergency shoulder on the southbound lanes and a truck lane on the northbound side. Both sides of the freeway will be shut down on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. The closures will take place again next Wednesday, then resume after the holidays on January 7th and continue through April. We're told Wednesday was chosen because there are fewer travelers on the road. We'll be right back.
Well, a warning tonight if you're planning on ordering Christmas gifts and having them shipped to your house. Police say a Grinch just might steal your purchase.
The more I watch it, the more angry I get.
Sacramento family may have caught that Grinch in action. After a rash of thefts in their neighborhood, they bought a surveillance camera. Sure enough, when a gift they were expecting didn't show up, they checked the tape and saw a woman running off with their package.
There's a lot of people probably expecting some gifts on the front porch, and people like that have no conscience.
Homeowners hope someone will recognize the woman and turn her into police.
The CBS Evening News is next, but first, here's a look at some of the news stories.